understand what you're talking about, because if you if you lessen the demand for oil, the need to protect, and you spend $110 million a day, $110 million a day just protecting the transfer of oil. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And if you're a real conservative, you would say, hey, maybe we should stop spending all this money protecting oil, the oil trade, and be like China and invest at home for energy infrastructure that's going to lessen the demand on our people, that's going to relieve our armed forces, and probably save some lives all at the same time. So I don't even understand the argument. The argument's getting stupid to me, Jason.
Well, China is investing in the control of the Strait of Hormuz as well. And the Strait of Hormuz provides oil and raw materials. But just setting aside the oil, let's say the green energy transition happens, provides raw materials to our allies. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan. It's an extremely important trade route for East Asia. Okay, it's relevant to the interests of Australia. And these are all of our allies.
Japan and Korea didn't start the fucking war. We did.
That doesn't mean it's not relevant to them. Okay, they are our allies. Japan can't start any wars. Japan cannot start any wars.
No. Everybody else in the world is mad at us for starting this.
That's not important. That's not important. How they feel is not important. Okay, what is important is strategy.
Crazy. I'm sorry. This is why Republicans lose me. I'm gonna let them finish, but this is why Republicans start to lose me. Because now that's not important how other allies feel. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, let's make it finish.
Yeah. Let's make it a dialogue. Go ahead.
No, he already said it. Go ahead, Jason. It's your turn.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how Japan feels about it. Japan can't start any wars, and as a matter of law. And anybody who wants to look into that can look into that. I don't talk about that, right? But China wants to control Central Asia. And they want to control Central Asia.
Go to Juicy Mango.
Juicy Mango.
Juicy Mango. Leave my mango alone. Unless you're going to eat it, leave it alone.
So, look, if China wants to control Central Asia, we don't want them to control it. All right? They support Iran. They support conflict in Central Asia. They support conflict in neighboring regions, okay, like Russia's conflict with Ukraine. Now, they are the enemy. So what is bad for the enemy is good for us. It's that simple, people.
Okay. So to respond, Jason, is the outcome of the Iran war with the signing of an MOU and the strategic position of the United States in Asia decreased or increased the strength of the strategic positioning of the United States in Asia? Decreased or increased as an outcome of the Iran war? Because, in my opinion, it has been substantially diminished to the degree that we're not sure there is any plausible seriousness anymore about talking about Taiwan whatsoever, given that the United States wasn't able to defend its own bases, at least against Iran, and had to move from South Korea batteries that were extremely politically toxic at the time the United States was placing those batteries in South Korea. I'm not sure they're going back in, given the political situation and the cost that South Koreans paid at the time of installation of those batteries vis-a-vis China sanctions, etc., travel restrictions, trade restrictions, etc., that China imposed after that, right? I think the United States has, and this is a little bit of a hyperbole, but it's close. I think the United States has lost Asia thanks to Trump administration.
Sure. That's a different question of whether it's important or not, whether it's relevant or not, right? The earlier conversation is like, well, is this area relevant without the oil? I think it is. Okay, we could disagree about that. Has this attempt to manage the situation worked out, assuming the region is relevant? That's a different conversation. Maybe not. Okay, I think the signs are not positive, let me put it that way. So now, history continues. This is not the end of the story. We can always start another war next year. But, things are not, obviously this is not the outcome that I wanted. I was hoping for complete control of Iran, not something like this. We don't have it, so this is not worked out.
Thank you. Jason is only surviving neocon on Clubhouse, to my recollection. I don't think there is any other neocons on Clubhouse. This is like a meeting in an endangered species.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, usually me and you have some sort of agreement on these things. We're completely divergent on this one. Like, I just, the Middle East, most of the Middle East is not that important strategically to the United States outside of the oil and a few other things. The Strait of Hormuz, because of our own oil production domestically, is not that important to us. And frankly, I don't think even Americans would even give a fuck. They wouldn't. They don't even talk about Ukraine and Russia anymore. I don't even know when the last time I seen that on the news. They don't even care about that anymore. They really wouldn't care about Iran and the Strait of Hormuz unless they went to they only care because they go to the gas station and it's $5 a gallon. That's really what they care about. I mean, at its core, the left and right think about how much things cost them. And granted, some of our support from Kuwait and other oil nations is what has made us over the past 30 years have cheaper fuel so we can drive our Suburbans and our Tahoes and our Expeditions around and our F-150s and our Silverados. But our GS Lexus, which is a very nice car. But on the whole, people don't care about the region here or the people there or the nuances between the people there outside of the world.
That's just their
Considers climate change an issue. See that way in Europe?
So I guess I don't understand the point of saying that we don't care about the region except for the thing that we care about. But how would it not apply to multiple things? I don't understand the value of that, or the importance of that particular therefore saying that people care about the things that they care about.
Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to, what is so therefore XYZ. People care about the region because it impacts how they organize their daily life, or what they believe to be, impacts their daily life to the extent that it, that it affects them. But we could say that, do people care about Asia?
So,
Hello?
brother, have you?
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just like, finish that.
Okay, brother.
I think we're just finishing up. Brother, the conversation that's just premise. The premise goes, if the United States degree transition, right? Then it would lessen the numbers and basically make valid points that people would still be in agreement with, at least when it comes to energy. You have the argument that was something trapped on the side of the argument that the transition would lessen dependence on Strait of Hormuz as a choke point on energy.
Yeah. And brother, I think I'm on my third plate at the buffet. I'm finna hit the chocolate fountain, and you just
No, it's all natural. Unlike you, I'm sure. Did you stick a little Botox and filler in that fake face of yours?
The Strait of Hormuz is somehow vastly strategically important to the United States outside of the war.
Is that my man Pac-Man?
Like, that's
I'm
not
gonna pack you up like a motherfucking Subway sandwich out of you, motherfucker. Put some lettuce and some tomato and some mayo and some ketchup and some motherfucking jalapenos. Put some of that onion and motherfucking romaine. I don't want no motherfucking lettuce. Romaine only.
And the fact that you can buy a $300 drone and wreak havoc on a small country as literally a single person. And if we're not going to resolve the broader problem of extremism and all the conflicts we have primarily in the Middle East, I think that the ability of any small rogue group to come all the way to the shores of the U.S. to your favorite bar and pub.
Was I being rude?
Damage.
I apologize. Are you willing to make amends with me?
Is literally months away, and just everything, all the solutions we're talking about here, are just kicking the can down the road, which used to be okay in the 60s and 70s and 80s, complaining about why we don't have peace in the Middle East because we kicked the can down the road. But that's no longer an option. And everything I heard so far is correct and is a very temporary pause or deferral to what's coming.
Now, just on a personal note, notice how I didn't respond to Trent, even though it was clearly an unnecessary and uncalled attack. If I talked about how he's unemployed, then I would be wrong, and I wouldn't be.
That's not how I'm unemployed.
God bless.
That's why I'm at the Golden Corral. It's okay.
Brother Wholesome.
It wasn't an attack on you. I just said I'm on my third plate.
There was a wholesome, misty moment. There was a wholesome, misty moment because he was giving an example of him not being an example in the example, right? I love when people say, now if I say X, Y, Z, then I'd be wrong. But you're not wrong, you're right, but you did it anyway. But I'm here for it. That was wholesomeness.
I'm in the front of the here, bro. Let me help you out. I'm in the front of the unemployment line, and you just walked in.
Okay.
Does that make you feel better? It's not an attack on you. What I'm saying is, hold on, my bro. Hold on. What I'm saying is, you came into the conversation. My analogy was, you came into the conversation kind of in the middle of it. I didn't think you heard the beginning because I don't think you would be starting with taking it.
Trent, I'm sorry.
Trent.
You were not.
Just
on
let
the
me
app,
get it on.
So I'm gonna help you, Trent. Brother has been transformed. He's no longer brother messy. He's brother wholesome.
That's right.
Oh, yes. So as a brother wholesome, he needs a different treatment from you.
Yeah, you got to handle him properly because he's.
I gotta handle him there.
Well,
Wholesomely.
host up, because I thought he was just saying like, man, I've been at this buffet all along, and you just getting here.
That's exactly what
There wasn't nothing else much to it, but I will say, Brother Wholesome, he has been at Corral for a while. He just didn't come get any food.
It's his Costco.
No, he was in the same building. I'm saying because Brother has been here for a while now. He's been in the chat and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he was at the Corral. You just didn't see buffet because he was waiting until everybody got their food because he was being wholesome.
Okay. Cool. Well, if you want to throw some, If you want to throw some hands, we can, brother. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put my finger up your butt.
Wait a minute.
Oh, stop! Shout out to Ali Sadiq.
I feel uncomfortable.
Come on.
Well, Rainbow, it sounds like you want some. Because why would you even comment on that?
Well,
Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm just gonna say that it's a funny way to transition out of the ridiculousness.
So that's how you transition.
I'm choosing to move on, and I'm allowing that moment to help us move on. Okay. This is hard to
I'm naked in the shower. I'm ready to go.
Oh my God, sir, please.
You gotta know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there's a skit where he talks about a fight in the jailhouse. If you don't know the skit, you don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway,
I do not know the skit. I do know skit who I find funny. I don't know that skit.
let me post it for you. In fact, we're gonna go see him tonight. Where he's playing in Corpus Christi. And brother, I actually interviewed him on Tuesday. I put that in the link earlier for First Lady. I'll see if I can repost it. It probably won't let me. But yeah, shout out to my man Ali. I mean, the boy is just hilarious. I love some comedy.
So,
I hope y'all don't take anything I say too.
So Trent, it works is so if you offer to put your finger up another man's butt,
Yeah.
if he says no, you can say it's a joke. But if he says yes, you go ahead and do it.
If you haven't heard the skit, about the dirty draws and the fight in the prison shower, and how the man put, it was a big dude, probably like brother, and a small dude, and the small dude said, "Hey," and he was gay. And he said, "If I beat you, I don't want to ruin it for everybody."
No,
you
I'm
gotta hear
saying
the
the
kid.
skit. I'm just wondering how it works.
I don't know how it works. I ain't been to prison.
Oh, okay.
But
Y'all all stuff in y'all mouth right now.
I told you I'm on my third plate at the buffet.
I'm not. And then a big brother probably like, I'm just letting you know, I'm catching a lot of strays, and I'm being very nice. I haven't crashed. This counts as 2 people. I feel like this counts as 2. I'm like 4 out of 5 at this point. Yeah, so let me get back to I just wanted to clarify, because I think we could say that about, I don't think Americans genuinely care about, other than the royals in the UK, I don't think Americans generally care about any region of the world beyond what is important to them. They don't, I think the Palestinian issue, the extent to which people actually care, I think that may be one of the only issues, and people really don't care. I think it's just a way to, to dunk on other people and to virtue signal, because where's all of that organizing now? Where's all that constant, all of that, they don't go to Trump, they don't go to Republicans who are in control, who are setting policy, not setting policy. I think, to the extent that we care about any area, is based on what we believe it provides for us. And Americans generally don't care about, the rest of the world, honestly. We don't care about it in terms of environmental crisis and issues. We don't care about Americans.
I 1,000% agree with brother.
And like we don't, to the extent that it doesn't affect us personally, we'll send thoughts and prayers, but that's about it. Like, we don't actually care about other people. And so I think that, I get the statement, but I think that is extrapolated to everything, to almost everything. We were talking about this a couple of days ago. I just don't think we care enough. And that becomes one of the reasons why I believe we have completely disjointed policies because we're voting in people based on what we think they can provide for us in the short term. We as voters don't seem to have a long-term aspiration or hope or desire. We sort of vote in people as we, and it creates instability. And then we get upset about it, but then we don't decide. We don't decide to change things in any sort of consistent long-term way. So I'll stop there. I just,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jason.
What if strategic decisions aren't made that way, though? They aren't based on what the American people care about, per se. There is a bunch of internal administrative decision making, right? And strategic consideration and thought. And we decide to go to war based on, are the people not too opposed to it? And then we take the wars that we think that we want to take as the administrative state, okay? And not based on what are the top 10 wars the American people want? I don't think that's how it works. It's just more like, can we get away with it? Will the American people oppose this too much? And then we pursue these things based on strategic concerns and trade routes and our alliance network, our strategic concerns. And go ahead.
I'm just going to say, I think you missed what brother said, which I completely agree with. And I understand some of what you're saying, but let me just be honest with you. One of my friends who is a Trump supporter, the other day when the Venezuela quake happened, he actually texted me when it happened. He's a news junkie like me. He says, 7.2 and 7.5 earthquake in Venezuela, massive damage, right? Just happened. It's like, damn, it's crazy. It's terrible. And the next thing he said to me is, what do you think that will do to oil prices? Before you say anything, pause and think about that. That was the very next text. And that's how a lot of people, and especially my friends on the right, that's how they think.
And that's fine. Yeah, and that's fine. That just has nothing to do with how these decisions are made. And I think we do have to come back to thinking about how are these decisions actually made? How does grand strategy, what leads to a country's approach to grand strategy? It's not an opinion poll of the populace.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, but the problem is, even if there is a grand strategy, and again, the United States released the grand strategy, and then because you have Trump, apparently the whole grand strategy was scrapped for the Iran thing, right? The Iran war is not alignment with the grand strategy they themselves released months prior to going to war with Iran. I understand that, and I appreciate that, yes, obviously there is a democratic input to voting decisions, but then some expert class of military planners and strategists, et cetera, based on the democratic input and who the president is, who they elected, the cabinet, et cetera, come up with usually continuation of some type of a grand strategy that the establishment has, et cetera, but none of that is working.
Sure, but then that tells us how to evaluate it, right? Based not on what do people think about it per se, but is the grand strategy working? A, B, is there alignment among the different group the bureaucratic experts? I guess we'll call them the bureaucrats. They disagree with each other. Trump came in and he brought in some of his own people and some of his own ideas. but they are just going to get folded into this broader group of professionals who will ultimately decide what happens and how things go, and they will also influence Trump and change his mind about stuff.
That's not what I was saying. I was saying the Trump administration, with his own people he nominated, released a grand strategy document, then proceeded to scrape it and go to war with Iran.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Yes, that's true.
So my question is, why are they a grand strategy if there is no grand strategy?
Well, I think you guys are using the term in a different sense than I am. Grand strategy, I understand as the policy area, as the problem, the problem space. What are you trying to? You're dealing with things like Iran and the Strait of Hormuz and Afghanistan and Israel. This is in the realm of grand strategy. Maybe you don't have a good one. Maybe you don't have a grand strategy, but that's not what. No, don't interrupt me, Trent. Don't interrupt me, Trent.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe they don't have a good plan. Okay, maybe they don't have literally a grand strategy. Okay, but as a subject matter area, they have to deal with it. Okay.
You done? So when he's talking about grand strategy, I believe he's talking about grand strategy in terms of energy policy and a grand strategy of approach, especially if we're talking about America first. What is America first? What is the approach to reducing our need and dependence on oil and reducing the cost of living for Americans? And so from a grand strategy perspective, the last 4 months haven't made any sense. It doesn't make any sense to take away EV subsidization and at the same time attack a nation which controls a significant portion of the oil. The grand strategy doesn't seem to make any sense. And so one of the problems, actually with some things that have to do with American first, what I can say, and I think a lot of Americans, even some who are Trump supporters, what a lot of Americans can say is the execution of this administration has been horrific. I'll land. You can respond.
Oh, okay. I'll try to keep it brief. So, I don't know that the execution could be much better. This has revealed some fundamental problems in our manufacturing base that would have been faced by any administration. Some fundamental problems in our arms stores and strategy. Okay, and there's now a lot of controversy and discussion in the armed forces basically about how do we get to this world of low-cost drone manufacturing that clearly is so powerful. Okay,
hello?
It does
Wait,
something
hello?
that
You said there's a discussion? I think we know, and the Trump administration rejected it. Ukraine said they would come and teach them, and Pete Hegseth and Trump rejected it. Are you unfamiliar with this?
that's not manufacturing.
Ukraine is doing it right now. Hello?
Yeah, Ukraine is doing it, yes, but none of the other Western countries can do it yet.
Hello? So if Ukraine can... What? Wait. Man, I'm telling you.
England can't do it. Denmark can't do it. No, maybe Taiwan can do it.
Why can Ukraine do it and the U.S. can't, Jason?
Ukraine built out their entire defense manufacturing basis or rebuilt it on the basis of drones, okay?
But why
And
can't
the U.S., Taiwan, and so on.
US. Why can't U.S. do that?
We can't run it. Can we do it eventually? Sure. Well, no, you're engaging in equivocation here. No Western power can do what Ukraine can do at present. Okay, can we do it eventually? Yes, right. But can we do it now? No.
And why can't we do it now?
And it's because they built it and we didn't. Ukraine built it.
Had we taken their expertise when they offered it, would we be on our way to?
Well, we have to change acquisition priorities. All right,
and who's in charge of that?
Go ahead.
Who's in charge of that?
Go ahead.
I'm asking you, who did that?
Who's what that?
Who's the head of the Defense Department? Who's in charge of it?
Hesketh is the Hexeth is the
That's what you voted for. So you wanted this regime.
This is not important.
This is important because this is what the American people wanted.
Your perspective on voting and people getting what they want when they vote, and that's what leads to decisions and policy. Is not important.
It is
it's
important.
Not you need just delete that. What you found a place in your thinking that you can just delete these sectors. Okay, just delete this part of the file, and you got to go to a realist perspective. And there are real problems here that every administration would face. Every administration would face these same real problems.
That's not true. That's not true.
The drone manufacturing thing is a real problem, and the U.S. is not set up to do it. The U.S. is not able to do it right now.
People made a decision to not be set up. This is not true at all.
No, the U.S. is not set up to do it because our defense manufacturing base is based around basically a bunch of proprietary, custom, and very tailored components. And that's why we can't do this.
This is what you have to do when you find yourself as a Republican who voted for Donald Trump. Instead of being honest and say, they got that piece wrong. Let me give Anthony credit. He's gone. One thing I've heard Anthony say consistently is that Trump's energy policy is really, really, really bad. And it's really bad for the country and for the world. I'm going to give him credit. Jason is such a partisan hack that he's now telling us that it is through no fault of the administration. It is just an invisible hand of defense production that made the United States at this point. I can give you the reporting where the Ukrainians literally offered to help the United States build out. Really. And Hegseth and Trump and them told them no because they're gay. It's a choice not to put in the United States. You telling me Ukraine can do something the United States can't do? Only someone who's lying, who's a partisan hack, would say that. It's hard to have conversations with y'all. And I've been on mute. I'll be honest with y'all. I was eating some chips. I got a tortilla.
If you allow me, and you might want to hit record. You might want to hit record, neoliberal. I hope you're listening as well, because I owe y'all an apology, just like Anthony. Because I'll be honest, prior to this war and during this, in the beginning of this invasion, I supported Iran. I supported the Trump administration. Not Iran. I supported the Trump administration in this action. I was, and I had some hubris about it. I was full-throated in my support. I prostituted myself on Figueroa with heels higher than First Lady's third picture. Now you can pause. And this is going to be the last time that I ever give a full-throated support of anything that this administration does, because I look like a fool. They did not execute to their best of their ability. The military did in the opening strategy. That opening salvo, I still say, was one of the greatest military feats of all time. And thereafter, it was squandered and it fought through. When Plan A didn't work and fold, there was no afterthought of what would happen.
But see, Trent, that's why they cuss you out.
Hold on, baby.
Because
hold on. Before you cuss me out, you can cuss me out in a minute. Just let me land. And so what I am trying to say is I was wrong. And people and I have friends like Jason, and I consider Jason a person I would probably be friends with. We'd have a whiskey and scotch together down there with my boy Marshall. But the inability for my conservative friends, some of them have come over, because it's hard to deny. So for the inability to admit that this was wrong, that there wasn't a good strategy, and we're not in a better position after this, to Ben's point, is wrong. So for the things that I said prior, let me shut up and be quiet. Go ahead.
Yes, because this be the thing, Trent. I have sat back and watched them drag you several times, and then you come back. You know, you've been, and now it's, hey y'all, I didn't think this through. This wasn't the best decision. Y'all were right. I was wrong. Why don't you just carry that humility with you in all these debates so people don't have to cuss you out as much? Like, if you know there's something about the way you navigate your thinking in your head that doesn't always lead you to the promised land, or that's not always the right way we need to be thinking.
Just surrender your autonomy to Penny. That's right. That's the right thing for her to do. Come on.
All right, I put it in the chat. Hold on, Penny. Just so you know, Jason, this was this month.
I know y'all fucking lying.
Good Lord have mercy. Good.
Let Penny finish real quick, man, if you don't mind.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I thought she was done when he interrupted her. My bad.
No, why cut me off? It's okay. Go ahead.
Jason, do you follow the issue? Jason, do you follow the issue?
He's in Jamaica. He's gone.
He's gone. And I'll just say this real quick if I can respond to Penny. I ain't been wrong about everything, bro. No, that is not true. I ain't been wrong about everything.
Hold on, Trent, let me set it up. I put it in the chat so people know. Okay. It's from the Hill. This is June 7th of this month. This month. Quote, Trump drags feet on drone deal with Ukraine, mystifying experts. The Trump administration's hesitancy in signing a major drone deal with Ukraine is slowing the U.S. military down in an area where it's already trying to play catch-up. Even as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged Washington to make a deal, with talks between two nations stretched back to at least September, the U.S. has so far refused to embrace Kyiv as a partner in its drone development. It goes on and on. This is not a problem that any administration would just face. Jason is a lying maggot.
Yeah, Jason was in a corner. And I appreciate Trent as a contrast to Jason, because Jason was doing, he quoted himself as being a realist and then proceeded using weird structuralist arguments about defense production chain and weird semi-structuralist semantic definitions over what grand strategy is, when I tried to pin it down on actual grand strategy document that the Trump administration released. Yeah, this doesn't stimulate interesting conversations where people can just talk about stuff rather going to this weird semantic, incorrect semantic arguments, right? Like, even to begin with. That's why, thank you, Trent, for saying that, because it stimulated some actual interesting conversation at times when we disagreed with Trent.
Yeah, Penny, thank you, neoliberal. I appreciate that. I really do. And Penny, I'm not an ideologue. Now, I'm not a Democrat. And I do agree with a lot of things that are on the conservative side or MAGA side, whatever you want to call it. Some things, few things. But I also understand when we lose a 29-point lead in the second half that we choked. And you got to be honest with it. Yeah, we choked. And that's what a lot of people on both, and it happens on both sides, but way more, I will have to say, way more on the right. I find people defending indefensible positions, talking about reflecting pools being cut with a knife 350 feet. Yeah, people who I know don't even believe what they're saying, like my boy Troy Nails, who I know at their heart don't believe what they're saying, but you have to say it for power. And I think we're at the point where we're well past the point. We're well past the point where it's time to tell Grandpa the truth and say this didn't happen and we lost.
There you go.
Yeah, it's. I don't know who the next president is going to be. I have a guess. It's going to be one of 30 people. I'm pretty sure about that. But it's going to be. There's going to be so much to clear up and clean up. People aren't going to believe it. It's crazy.
Is it any different from any time a Republican leaves in power? Don't they all leave a mess?
No,
Johnson said.
Way different.
Wait a minute.
And I got you.
Wait a minute, Truth.
How is your walkie-talkies going off? What?
That's band backing up.
Oh my God!
That's how he hit it from the back.
What in the
And right on time, Brother Bessie is here.
God,
Just like that.
So, hold still.
Lord have mercy. Oh, hell. What's going on?
Big Mike Johnson said, if y'all don't vote for him or don't vote for the Republicans, they will all come after you. The Democrats, they can't wait to have all these different kind of cases and lawsuits coming up against you. But I'm the man, I'll protect you. So, like, they already know they did wrong. And they trying to keep their job. They trying not to go to court for the mess that they've caused. So, I don't know. I hope nobody's talking about trying to take them to court right now, because I hope the people just wake up and be able to vote properly. Get this mess out of here.
So I think that they're. Oh, no, you go ahead.
Well, what I do want to say is somebody said that this is like any other Republican administration. No, Lord, it is not. You're dealing with
way worse. Yeah, I totally agree with Trent. Yeah, it's way worse.
And the changing of the judges and the inspector generals, and this is where I want to get your opinion, Ben, and everybody in here. I had told you. Now, this is what I was right on. I had told you that my boys down in Houston had told me that Pulte, who nobody had heard of, was going to be the one. And now, and this is crazy. I mean, I didn't, nobody expected this. And now Bill Pulte is cleaning out the intelligence department, which even to me is like, wow. But they had told me. Go ahead.
Let me build on you, Trent. You are correct. I didn't know who the boy was. I knew the daddy because we know Pulte Holmes. It is, and I mean this without all hyperbole, I'm dead ass. It is the single most perplexing cabinet appointment I have ever heard. Unless he's in there to do the most wildest spy fuck shit in 3 weeks that we've ever seen. It is the strength. I'm actually stunned. I'm surprised the statute allows for an acting DNI. That's the kind of role where I think you shouldn't be acting. And if there's a deputy who's been confirmed, that deputy becomes it while you wait for the next confirmed person. It is totally wild. It is totally wild. It's hard for me to get my hand around it. But look, so I'm gonna go to First Lady's point because it's a good one. Mike Johnson is not worried about his members. Those people have not committed any crimes because they can. They're not in a position to. That's some sort of insider trading stuff, but that's a different thing. Mike Johnson is speaking to nobody. Mike Johnson can't protect anybody. Every pardon, I'm telling you, unless you die in the next 5 years, and I hope nobody in here dies unless you want to, you are going to see people charged with state crimes you did not know existed. Because when Donald Trump pardons 1,000 people on the way out, he can only do it for the feds. I'm telling you that states, attorneys, generals, I don't know where the S goes, are going to be. Y'all thought the phony, I never liked the 34 felonies, the accounting error. I always thought that was stupid. Y'all thought that was stupid? Y'all thought that was dumb? Got it. Wait till what they got coming down the pipe. I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to give you an example. Kristi Noem better get online and find some big-tittied Icelandic Barbie queen to sponsor her and her husband to get out of the United States. I would be stunned if Kristi Noem, her big-tittied husband, and their friends did not commit major crimes. That's my...
No, don't do that. Don't finish your submission without saying 3,000 cc's. Come on, bro.
3,000 cc's. But do you all remember? I don't know if you guys remember, because we kind of moved on. But remember, Chris Christie was handing out $100 million. What was it? $100 million advertising contracts to entities that were just created 3 days before they got handed out. Do y'all remember this?
Yep.
Oh, y'all forgot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. The Secretary of Labor, what her and her husband were involved in. The man that he couldn't go into the Labor Department building where his wife was a secretary in line for the presidency because he was grabbing pussy in elevators and escalators. He was grabbing ass in cubicles. He was turning up the temperature on nipples in offices. Y'all remember this guy? He was doing the credit card swipe, the tip drill on cracks of asses, and then smelling it. Y'all remember that guy? Oh, this has been an insane administration. Let me give you another one that kind of went underground. I know we didn't talk about it much. Anybody remember the so-called Secretary of War and stock trades? Anybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
There's going to be an Alvin Bragg type of person in every state you can think of. All 50 states.
Every state. Yep. And some Republicans are going to get them too. Because I'm telling you, and this is going to be my favorite thing to watch. After the 2028 election, especially if a Democrat wins, you're going to find Republicans who have been holding their fire come out against these MAGAs in ways you never thought was possible. If people think the George W. Bush wing of the Republican Party is dead, nope. They are laying in the cut. They are laying in the cut. That they are waiting for it all to happen. This ain't no funeral home. It ain't the Terror Dome neither. They are waiting in the wings.
What makes you think we're going to make it to 2028? What makes you think they don't have some agenda? If you look at him, you think, really, that he's going to try to...
Ma'am, we're Negroes. If we made it to 1900 from 1850, will make it to 2028. I know it's very tough from your perspective about whether or not we're going to. Excuse me, ma'am. You asked me the question.
I know, but you insulted me.
I didn't. I insulted you by saying weird Negroes? I said weird Negroes.
We're all Americans. I worked with Obama.
I'm a Negro.
You're a human being.
She doesn't see color.
Oh, she thinks it because she mentioned Obama.
All lives matter. Ben.
Brother, that was for you. She needed to give you something to get you going one Saturday.
Wholesome. Oh, she left.
Y'all ran the lady off.
You know, you people, you're not as inclusive as as you like to think.
You're not.
You're very divisive.
You are.
That good, clean woman came up here and she said, all lives matter, and you all her. She said you're a human being. Color you should be worried about is your red blood. Okay? And I'm gonna for her rights. She came up here with good intent. And look how divisive you've been, Ban. Someone's got to stand up to you. You're racist.
It's America.
That poor woman.
Although, we probably should be careful because I think she is right. She's insulted her. Maybe we need to reframe. Not being a Negro is the slight you think it is.
But wait, I'm still trying to figure out. What, did she say insult or insult?
Insult. Yeah, she was insulted. That was a white liberal, by the way. I just looked at her profile. From what I can tell, she was a doctor.
Oh Lord, you read profiles.
This why they cuss you out, bro. I swear, y'all.
No, Penny, you don't understand. This one time, this one lady came in here. We all seen the writing on the wall, and he tore. Excuse me.
You gotta let her get this out.
He tore me to shreds. And it was somebody else. He said, y'all being mean to this, the lady, brother. And he said, y'all just being rude. He said, listen, ma'am, listen, I believe you. Just let me see your LinkedIn. And whatever transpired with that, between that LinkedIn and the few other additional words that she came up with, he lit into her like a campfire. You understand me? And I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness. If you'd have just waited and saw what we saw when we saw it, then you wouldn't have to worry about it. But he was so enamored with the fact that, she was the, what was she? She was something to some place.
Ambassador to South Sudan. And
South Sudan.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember her. Look at you. You remember her very well.
It wasn't even the ambassador. It was like the Attorney General or something.
Attorney General, that's exactly it. Yes.
It had a MySpace from 2005 as verification. Listen to that bullshit. Now listen, Penny. Yeah, I tried to
beat us up over that.
But I did. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt because you never know. You never know.
Into her worse than we did.
I did, because when you expose yourself, brother, you know what I'm saying? When you expose yourself after I go out for a limb for you, and then you expose yourself to be a fraud, a $100 bill from Monopoly.
She was a drunkard.
Nah, I ain't got that problem with drunkards.
But that was the problem. That's why we was laughing at her, knowing that what she was saying wasn't real.
Listen, just because you have a drink doesn't mean you're not real. Come on, First Lady. Good.
I don't know, Trent. Sometimes when you get on your drunkenness, I don't know. You be talking about you the king of Disney World and all this other kind of shit. So, we would kind of laugh it off. But when you come here talking about you in South Africa and you the attorney general and your father's from this place and they tried to kill him, they kidnapped him and all this. Like, we just knew it wasn't real. And you was fighting us. You was mad at us.
I never said I was the king of Disney World. I said I was the prince of Epcot. Okay? Now, it's
Something like
different.
Oh, Evans, you remember? Yeah, it was crazy.
She was on the lam from living in Atlanta, but the Attorney General of South Sudan, because people were looking for her, and Trump was like, y'all need to let this woman speak. It's like,
she was in exile. Bro, yeah, it wasn't. Hey, brother, it was a hell of a story, though. It was a hell of a story.
Yeah, but the straw that broke the camel's back was she didn't have a LinkedIn account.
She had the MySpace. She gave me a MySpace. She gave me something, and you were like, "Ma'am, I'm gonna have to drag you because I'm coming for you." And you went off. Oh my God.
He was really upset about that, not being able to connect with her.
Oh God.
He just knew he had a friend.
He was slam dunking on all of us. He was like, "How dare you?" Oh God, that was.
Spending an enlightening 2 hours with you. My wife has allowed me to opine on the clubhouse. But I'll be back. Yeah, as brother has said, I'm not working at the moment. So perhaps for the next 6 months, I'll be in here on a daily basis. Who knows?
Don't you turn this on. Now you got sensitive. You got sensitive. Don't do that. Don't play victim now.
No, I ain't playing victim. But no, I will. I have some time for the next probably 2 weeks. So I'll be in here. I'll be out here. I'm doing interviews. As First Lady said, or something, or maybe it's Tia. Yeah, I got my first news article out. I'm trying to get published in the Harvard Review. So will take me seriously. I did all week. I got some more coming. So while they're allowing me to breathe and spread my wings, I'm gonna spread them high. I'll be good. Take care.
All right, spread them wide.
Oh. Now, one more thing. Wait. I'm gonna get in trouble when I say this. But First Lady, that I don't even want to say what I want to say. But that PTR, I said if you know my number, I got some friends for you. Goodness gracious!
Oh my God,
you looking for you and Bonnet, Queen. Bonnet looking at she says she got a man, but if you look at her Instagram, she says she has a man. She said, what's her Instagram say? I said I have a man doesn't mean I'm not single, something like that. I'm like, I got some friends. That's all I'm saying. Y'all be good. I'll take care.
My God. Okay. y'all won't even die. So, what y'all want?
Hello?
What's the topic? What's the topic? Hey, first, you mind if I play something that's related to something Ben was saying about Pete Hegseth and
Sure.
All right.
And I didn't know Janasi was your brother. Everyone look at my PTR. Everybody pull to refresh. Look at my PTR. Look at Ed's.
I cannot stand.
I didn't know you were South African, brother. I thought you were Black American, brother.
Black from Africa.
Ed probably don't know about the polygamous.
Man, I was just gonna ask y'all if y'all know the tea behind the story.
Oh, let's rap about it after Ed plays this thing.
Chairman. So Americans are paying a high price for Donald Trump's war with Iran. We've got 14 service members who are dead, over 400 more who are wounded. Prices are rising for nearly every American family. But someone profiting off Trump's war, insiders who know what's going on and who place bets on that inside information. On March 23rd, just 14 minutes before Trump expectedly posted about, quote, very good conversations on ending the war, traders suddenly bet $500 million on the price of oil, which, once Trump made his announcement, immediately dropped. It happened again on April 7th, and then again on April 21st, a surge in oil bets, then a Trump post, and then a huge shift in oil prices in just the space of it. It looks like insiders have been making out like bandits, using secret information about the war. Now, one U.S. soldier has been charged, but that was for betting on capturing Maduro months ago. Not a single person has been charged in many trades over the Middle East war. So, Secretary Hegseth, do you have any explanation for these perfectly timed spikes in trading activity other than insider trading?
Slaves put together.
Senator, all I can tell you is that everything we've done in our department, everything we've done with information, in working with the White House and across the information, is completely above board.
Well, so, do you have another explanation other than insider trading? Do you have a story for why just minutes before there's an announcement, there's a surge in trading activity?
Senator, I'm more than focused on doing my job and ensuring we execute properly, which thankfully under this administration, our troops have done incredible things in all these missions. My job in all of those moments is to make sure we're prepared. And that's part of the reason why we've been so successful in these raids, in these efforts, is that this joint force is prepared.
You're not paying any attention to this insider trading. Is that what you're telling me? That you've paid no attention to this, you haven't noticed it, you haven't done anything about it?
What I'm saying is we're focused on our mission of executing for the American people, and what happens in the markets is not, in betting markets is not something we're involved in.
What happens in betting markets doesn't matter to you, even if the information may be coming from insiders in your office?
Senator, it's not something we're involved in at all. And of course, we take operational security at every level very seriously. In fact, no one's taken operational security more seriously than us. If you look at what it required to keep secret Midnight Hammer and Operation Maduro, the absolute resolve with Maduro, and the steps we've taken, no one's been tighter about ensuring that operational security is ensured.
With insider trading at your office?
25% take number 2.
I mean, we would ensure at every level that inside information
I
is
take that as a no.
properly safeguarded.
Well, obviously you're not. I'm also concerned about recent reporting on your own financial dealings with regard to profiting from the war in Iran. The Financial Times reported that your broker tried to buy hundreds of shares in a BlackRock fund invested in defense companies just before the war began. The law clearly prohibits the Secretary
That entire story is false, has been from the beginning, and was made up out of whole cloth. And anybody that looks at it sees how it was worded from the beginning to make it look like I was involved in something that I had nothing to do and never have. So any insinuation that I've ever profited other than serving this nation, what I give, what you give, what others give, I'm not looking for money. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for profit. I don't do it for stocks. And that's part of the reason why I'm able to be effective in this job. Because no one owns me. No one owns this department. No one owns this president. And we can execute for the American people, and we do.
The law clearly prohibits the Secretary of Defense from owning stock in the 10 biggest defense contractors. Other senators and I sent you a letter with detailed questions about this, and you have not given us a response. So I'd like to hear you say, did you, through your broker at Morgan Stanley or otherwise, seek to invest in any defense-related funds right before Trump started the Iran war?
I'll give it to you as a big, fat negative.
Then let me ask you a second question. Is your broker getting your personal sign-off on any investment in individual stocks?
Bigger, fatter, negative.
He's not getting your sign-off before he makes investments in defense stocks? Can I refer you to
I'm not making investments, Senator.
I am asking, does he know that he has to get your sign-off before he does that?
Of course. The time
What
of
you're
Senator,
gonna
that's
find it.
fine. Thank you. Thank you, Senator.
I would enter into the record the ethics agreement that the Secretary of Defense has signed, that he will sign off personally before his broker makes any attempt to buy defense stocks.
Is there objection?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Secretary XF, General Kane, Mr.
Yeah, she sounds like she's creating a paper trail for him. That was the clip.
Oh, go ahead, Brother Neo. Take your meat.
For context, there was Gannon Ken Van Dyke who was arrested at Fort Bragg, I think, for placing $33,000 or something and making a $409,000 profit using non-public information related to Maduro operation, exactly the one that he was talking about. A soldier that was in some way participant or knowing about the at the time non-public operation. And on the Hexet Morgan Stanley broker, there was a report that his Morgan Stanley broker tried to place money into defense stock funds in weeks before the war. That soldier's case is ongoing. He pleaded not guilty, but I mean. And on the markets that the Iranians and everybody else are now paying very close attention to the markets because it is a mentality. It's not going to keep running. It's like a trading going on. It can keep the actions of that person based on the easily flagged movements of money inside that corresponds to the secretary. Usually we have fraud and sellers to do this thing. It is relatively easily prosecuted. And the role of the business.
Tony Brown.
Oh no, not in this room. These people don't know who that is. That has to be a different room. These people have no idea who Tony Brown is.
back in the day, right? Yeah.
There's another old Negro. You would know.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, some of the Negroes over the age of 50 know.
It's time to breathe deeply and relax completely.
First of all, to Kimberly Foster, I do want to
breathe deeply and relax completely, allowing a quietness of spirit to come in. Feel the blood flowing through your arms and legs, through your body and mind. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Take a deep breath. Hold it as long as you comfortably can. And then let it out slowly through slightly parted lips. And when the breath is all the way out, contract your stomach muscles and push it even further out and further out. And then repeat this process of breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And if any outside thoughts should come into your mind, simply brush them aside and return your concentration to the sound of my voice. And breathing deeply and relaxing completely. Breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And now use your imagination and feel your body relax